Welcome to Sign with JP. I am your teacher JP and this is my classroom. Today we are learning about signs for the classroom, for the school, for learning. 45 must-know signs, and this is a two-part series, so this is part 1. Let's go. Answer. This is so common. To answer or respond, we're going to put one finger up by our mouth and one finger out in front, and then we push them down. That is to answer or respond. Backpack has two signs. One has to do with the straps where we just touch right here, the backpack. And the second sign has to do with the pack itself, backpack. Book. Put your hands out in front of you together and we open and close them. Open and close your book. That's it, book. Chair. 2 fingers on each hand to put them together. Your non-dominant hand is down and the other hand taps on top of it. In ASL, the sign for chair and the sign for sit are almost the same thing, and you might think, what's the difference? The movement. A small repeated movement is the noun and the one big movement is the verb. So you got to make that distinction. When we're talking about the thing, if I'm talking about the action, those are the difference. Class. We're going to take C's and we're just going to go around like that. So thumbs touching, 2 pinkies touching. Class. Clock. Clock is a compound sign of time and then showing the clock. So time, we're going to just tap on the watch. Just take one finger, tap right on the watch. That is time. And then we're going to put our hands up for the clock. So we put them together. That is the clock. The sign for color is we take a hand by our chin and we just wiggle our fingers. That is color or colors. Oftentimes when you're talking about the things you color with, the crayon, markers, we're just gonna sign color and then we're gonna do write, as in writing, okay? So the colors you write with. Desk. Desk, we're gonna put one hand, your non-dominant hand, straight across and the other hand right on top and we just tap them. This means table or desk. Dictionary. Hold your non-dominant hand out, palm up. We're going to make a D in your other hand. When you look at your D, it should look like a lowercase d, one finger sticking up. And what we're doing is we're just going to turn the pages with our D. Here's the book, right? And here are the pages that I'm turning. Dictionary. Erase. To erase as like the verb to erase. We got our paper here on our non-dominant hand, and then I got the eraser and I'm going to scrub it off. So to erase, erase. And we are talking about like on a paper, we're erasing something, erase. Exam or test. These are made up of questions. So let's learn the sign for question. Question is this. We are going to draw a question mark. See, I got a hooked finger. I draw the question mark and I shoot the dot at the bottom of my question mark out. That is question. But on a test, we have multiple questions. And so instead of doing this sign a bunch of times, what we're gonna do is 2 hands and we're just going to crinkle and extend like that. So this stands for a question here and a question and a question and a question and a question. So many questions is a test. Glue. This one has some variations. I have always spelled glue myself, but I have seen a sign where it's like this, like they are spreading some glue around, okay? I'm gonna add a sign here, and that is sticky, like your fingers are stuck together and you're pulling them apart. That is how you find sign sticky. So let's put it together, why not? Grade. Hold up your non-dominant hand, make a G with your other hand, and we're gonna tap it on there. This is the grade like you get on a paper or the grade you get in a class. Here's your report card or the paper, and we're sticking grade there. Consequently, how do you sign all the grades? You put them right here. Did you get an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F? Right? So this is one way to sign failed, as in I failed a class or I failed the paper. High school is what we call a lexicalized loan sign. What does that all mean? It means it was a finger-spelled word that became its own sign. So HS is for high school, but the movement is what makes it different. Instead of doing HS, we are going to take H and pull it across into an S. See the movement? The movement is what makes it its own sign. High school. Learn. Take your non-dominant hand, palm up. That's the book. And when you take knowledge from that book right into your brain, you have learn. Library. Library starts with an L, and we're just gonna go in a little circle. That is library. I've seen a sign this way and also the other way. So the movement or the way you're going in the circle doesn't matter. It's just a L in a circle. Library. Listen. Listen, you cup your hand and put it by your ear. Listen. That's great for hearing people, right? You would tell them, hey, listen. The better sign for deaf people is pay attention, which could also be used for hearing people. And we're just going to take the hands up by our eyes and put them down like that. This means to focus or to pay attention. Pay attention. The meal you eat at school would be lunch. Lunch is a compound sign of eat and noon. So eat or food and noon, we're just going to put one hand straight up, like the clock hand is straight up, or the sun is straight up at noon, okay? This hand is just there for reference. So we put them together, eat at noon, lunch. Math. Math has two signs, two versions. I'm gonna share with you both of them. First, make some Ks. Take two fingers, put your middle finger forward and touch the middle knuckle of your middle finger with your thumb. Do that on both hands. And then what we're gonna do is we're going to just kind of swipe them together. And this means math. It also means to multiply. Math and multiply. Sometimes you'll see math initialized with M's, doing the same movement but with M's. That's an initialized version, or what I call an English version of the sign math. Notebook or journal, bound paper, we're gonna take our hand, palm up. That is our book, okay? But it's not a full book, right? It's a notebook. So we're just gonna take two fingers like this and we're gonna go down the side. We're basically showing it's thin. This can also be used for a magazine, right? Because it's kind of basically a thin book. So you have your notebook or your journal. Add some extra adjectives in there or extra words to help identify what that is. Paper, hold your non-dominant hand up and put your dominant hand back in a swooping motion like that. Pen and pencil. Let's first do real quick writing. Writing, you gotta have something to write on. That's your non-dominant hand. And then we're gonna take our writing utensil and we're just going to scribble on it. So this is writing. It also means the pen. See the difference? Remember what I said? A noun is a small repeated movement and a verb is a bigger movement. This time I am repeating it, but it's definitely bigger movement. So I'm signing writing versus a pen. Pencil, weirdly, oddly enough, we lick it. So same as pen, but lick it first. And yes, we do stick out our tongue. We don't actually touch it. And we write pencil. Principal, as in the principal of the school. Make a fist with one hand, your non-dominant hand. Make a P. Remember what we did with like a K for math? We're gonna do a P for principal. It's the same hand shape. And we're gonna wave it in a circle above our fist and drop it right on there. Wave it in a circle and drop it right on there so your middle finger touches your fist. Principal. Hey, you are off to a great start. This is part 1 of 2. So once you get these down, make sure you go to part 2 and check out the other half of the school and learning signs. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment if you like this, or if you want to see lessons on anything else. I'm JP. Thanks for being here. Keep on signing.